everyone. Today I want to show you 6 different ways of making egg whites in under an hour. You know, when you're trying to lose weight or get healthy, eggs are one of those foods that are recommended that you eat because they are high in protein and low in calories. I like to stick with the egg whites because they are lower in calories and they have lower fat compared to the whole egg. Actually, the yolk has a little bit more fat. I'm not saying it's not nutritious. Yes, it is. But for me personally, I like to keep my calories low. If you know my story, I have succeeded in losing 92 pounds in almost 3 years. In the beginning, I was eating boiled egg whites until I got tired of just boiled egg whites all the time. So I got some creative ways of doing things. I work full-time, I'm a single mom, I'm so busy, just as busy as you are, so I love to meal prep. Meal prepping is the basics of getting the weight off and keeping it off because you want to stay in full control of what goes in your body. So I meal prep everything. So I eat eggs for breakfast and for snack, and just really whenever I don't feel like eating anything else, eggs tend to be my go-to thing. So today I just want to tell you the difference in nutrition content between whole eggs and egg whites. So just comparatively, 4 whole eggs have 28 grams of protein. Meanwhile, you need 8 egg whites to get 28 grams of protein. Now, it varies a little bit depending on the size, but on average. So, of course, whole eggs have more protein compared to egg whites only. They both have the same amount of carbohydrates, low in carbohydrates. About 4 eggs have 2 grams of carbohydrates. 8 egg whites have 2 grams of carbohydrate. The difference comes in the fat content. I'm not saying they're bad fats, but again, if you have suffered from high cholesterol like I did when I was overweight, I'm consistently trying to keep my cholesterol low as possible. So 4 whole eggs have about 21 grams of fat. Meanwhile, 8 egg whites have 0 grams of fat. So I tend to stick with the egg whites for that purpose. Again, do you whatever works for you. The calorie content, of course, just 4 whole eggs, depending on the size, have about 310, 320 calories in just 4 whole eggs. Meanwhile, 8 egg whites have about 130 to 140 calories. So we will proceed with the egg white variety. I call these egg white cups because I'm going to make all of them in muffin tins. So this is really a good investment, non-stick muffin tins. I make so many different things in my muffin tins. I've been using these for years. You can't even tell. There's a little smaller ones, and yeah, if I want to be a little greedy, I'll use bigger ones. Egg whites take about 20 minutes or so to bake in the oven. I'm going to make everything in the oven. So let's get started. And the variety I'm going to make onion and tomato egg white cups. We'll make some vegetables. So I've got my onion and tomatoes here. So we'll use fresh onion and fresh tomato egg white cups. Then I'm going to make some spinach and cheese. Very little cheese. Be careful with the cheese. Spinach and cheese, egg white cups, and then just some diced vegetable egg white cups. These ones were fresh and frozen, and I got these from Walmart in a bag. I'm not affiliated with any of these guys, I may show you here, but that's how I do it. It just saves me a lot of time. And then I'm also going to make some sardine egg white cups, sardines. Boom. Strain the oil out, get just the sardine only, and I love to mix this with salsa. Hey, look, this guy here is my lifesaver. I'm not affiliated with them, but this is fresh cilantro salsa. I tend to use this even to eat with the egg white cups. Some fresh salsa. Delicious. And then what else will we make? Of course, we've got the boiled eggs. We'll make those. So I think that's 6. Oh, I've got my fajita meat. This thing is delicious. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this and make one more variety of egg white cups. And I get that also from Walmart. These are beef fajita. They're already pre-cooked. No stress. Hey, do what works for you. I don't have the time to grill. I love to grill, but I don't always have the time. So that's why I said do what works for you. So we're gonna get this show on the road. I'm gonna start with the boiled eggs. I will add a little bit of salt, and I am told the salt helps the eggs not to crack. I don't know if that's true, but that's cold water. We'll put just a little bit of salt in there, about half a teaspoon, and I do not boil 2 to 3 eggs at a time. I'm gonna boil 18 eggs. This will take me through 7 days. That's how long they can stay in the refrigerator. All I do is I label them, boiled eggs, I put a date on there, so after I boil them, they're gonna go back into this container and they'll go in the fridge. So let's get that going because these will take about 10 minutes. So you put these in cold water, turn it on, and leave it on. When it starts boiling, you can turn it off and leave it to sit there for a few more minutes. And after that, you put it in cold water to stop the cooking, and then you put them back in the same container, and you have all your boiled eggs ready for the whole week. One boiled egg white, and I eat the egg white only. One boiled egg white really has maybe about 20 to 30 calories, so you can eat those even as a snack before, after working out, I mean just whenever. When you feel like binge eating or just have some cravings, just reach for your egg whites. Those will not get you in trouble. So let's turn this on. As soon as it starts to boil, then I'm going to turn it off. So that's our boiled egg going. Now we'll move on to the egg white here. What I do is I'm just going to crack some of these here. I hope you can see. I'm just going to crack several at a time. Here. And I have been asked, somebody asked me, why don't I use just the egg white in a carton? I don't know, I just don't like to use the egg white in a carton. That's just me. Now, that may work for you. That's okay. I always say do the things that work for you. There's nothing wrong with it. I just prefer, I have tasted both, and I end up preferring just the egg. As I prefer to separate the eggs myself and eat the fresh egg whites as opposed to those in the carton. Okay, so once I have a few in here in this thing, I'm going to show you a little trick I learned from my friend's daughter, how to get this egg white, the egg yolks out. So what I'll do is I'll have this bottle here over the egg itself, and that just picks up the egg yolk. I hope you can see it real easy. I use a bottle, squeeze out the air from it, and it just picks up the egg yolk out of that. I mean, it just takes less than a second to get it out. So I'm not struggling with it. See? I'm gonna bring this closer so you can see. That's my bottle. Squeeze. And if I have this here, boom, see? Egg yolk ends up in the bottle. So easy. So that's how I separate them real fast. So I'm not standing here and struggling with the things. It just gets it out really, really fast for me. Okay, that one got broken, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I mean, there's no perfect process, so let's put that here and go after the next ones. Again, I will use just the egg whites. Just the egg whites. So I'm just separating here, and I am using 30 eggs. Now, I am not going to eat all these eggs in a week. What I actually do is I batch prep, and then I'll take some of each flavor and freeze them. And when I'm ready to eat, then I take them out and bring them to room temperature, zap them in the microwave for about 30 seconds, and I'm done. So again, let's get these egg yolks out. And that just goes really fast with this little bottle technique. If you did not see it earlier, let me show you again one more time. This is the bottle. And you squeeze, hold it over, boom, see? That gets the egg yolk up in the bottle. That's how easily you can get it out, just really, really fast, stress-free. My bottle is almost deteriorating here on me. But we're gonna make this, I've got a few more to crack. Let's keep that going. And I only do this, say, really once every 2 to 3 weeks. I will prepare eggs like this. The boiled eggs I will consume in a week, but these ones that are baked, I freeze them up and they last quite a while for me. So let's keep going here. Put that in the trash can. Okay, get the yolks out. Again, if you hadn't seen it before, I'm going to show it one more time. Just squeeze your bottle over the bowl, suck it up. Egg yolk ends up in the bottle. That's how fast I get these things out. I mean, these are 30 eggs, and look how fast I did that. Really fast. So just take the egg yolks out of the thing. Almost done here. That one egg yolk stayed in there. That's okay. I can have a one egg yolk. It's not a big deal. You know, one cup, let's see, half a cup of egg whites is about 4 to 6 eggs. So each of these muffin tins, I have my measuring cup here, is going to be half a cup, and that's only about 60 calories. So very low in calories, really low. We are almost done here. It's a whole process, but I tell you, they go really fast, and you only have to do this once every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, your boiled eggs, remember, your boiled eggs will only last 7 days, so you want to keep that in mind. And this is the last one, right there. Okay, let's get all these egg yolks out, because I'm interested in the egg white only. Last one. Okay. There. So we made it through 30 eggs, and there are about 3 yolks in there, that's okay for me. I mean, I'm not going to be worried about the tiny, tiny little details. So let's whisk this up, because this is the base of everything, just the egg yolk. Okay, so I whisk this up. Let's whisk it all up. going to add some seasoning here, my basic seasoning, and this is my secret seasoning. I can't give this, but anyway, this is a Jamaican spice, okay? It's got just some herbs and things, so that's the base of all the egg white cups. I love garlic, so I'm going to have in there, it's about a teaspoon. This is a very small teaspoon, so half of a regular teaspoon of garlic. I love garlic. And then the only other thing I put is baking powder. I don't know why I put baking powder. There's no really science to it. I mean, that's just me because I'm just, I don't know. If I'm gonna cook something in the oven, I put baking powder. There's no specific reason. So I'm gonna whisk that up again. Now, if you don't have a whisk, you can easily get a fork and just beat it up. All I'm doing here is just mixing it up. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to leave that sitting there for just a while, just a little bit, while I get everything ready, because the next step goes extremely fast. So here, this is my fajita meat. I am going to chop this up because these will go into the egg white cups, and I want these chopped up. And this is just grilled fajita meat. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. You don't need too much of anything that's going to go into your egg white cups. Keep in mind the egg white cups are very small. Each one is going to be under 100 calories, about 75 calories depending on what you put in it. So you can eat up to 3 of these for one serving. Up to 3 egg white cups is one serving. So don't put too much of anything. I think that's enough of the fajita meat. Let's see. I'm going to keep the rest of it here. There. So I have my fajita meat. I think I want these chopped up just a little bit more. Fajita meat. Okay, just chop it up. This will go in the cup. Okay. And I want to put just a hint of fresh onions with the meat. So voila. So we'll have the meat, and so I'll have this here. Okay, and then salsa, just a little bit of it so it's not overpowering, but then you have some, just something in there. There. Okay, so that's one flavor. The other one will be my sardines and a little bit of salsa. You can tell everything has salsa. Everything has salsa. So I'm going to mash the sardines here. Just mash it up, mix it up. There. Good. So that's another one. And then I will have the steamed vegetables. These are already defrosted, and I will have that as one flavor. And then let's get our onions, and then I'm gonna have cheese. That's one. So let me get my onions and tomatoes here, because I like to do that with fresh onions and fresh tomatoes. So let's get that here. Don't put too much fresh onion in your food, just because, you know, onions have carbohydrates, but I mean, everything in small amounts, so just a little bit of onion is okay. I am going to put some onions into my fresh vegetables also. onions into the vegetables. There. And I will use this for the onion and tomato. So there. And I want to have, let's see, I'm going to add more seasoning just. Okay. So I will put my onion and tomato right here. So my eggs, I see my eggs are boiling. Remember, you put just a little bit of salt into the water so your eggs don't crack. That's what they say. I do it. I don't know if it works, but my eggs do not crack. So I leave those there for just a few more minutes. While we're doing this here, this is the reason why I don't have, again, I'm doing it that way because I don't have time to boil 3-4 eggs every day. And I literally eat a boiled egg just anytime. I love to have these boiled eggs on hand because if I get a craving, I reach for boiled egg and eat just the egg white. If I'm at work and I'm tired, and that's when I get the most cravings, when I'm working my night shift and I'm tired and I have to keep walking, I don't want to reach out to the cookies that we always have at the nurse's station. I don't want to reach out to the ice cream that the good people brought for us during this pandemic. Hey, I want to thank you guys in the meantime. Everyone who dropped off food for the staff in the hospital, power to you. You know, it really goes a long way and just makes us feel so happy. So thank you. And the fact is, when we're working at night, guess what? Everywhere else, all the places where we used to get food, or the nurses used to get food from, all those places are closed. So when we have goodwill people like you who bring food and drop it off in the hospital for us in pre-packaged containers, it's so heartwarming. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you. Anyway, this is our last one here. This would be the spinach. Spinach is one of those things that I personally have difficulty consuming, but you know, once I have it transformed into something else, it just goes down so fast without me thinking. So that's just the truth. And don't you judge me, please. Don't judge me. Okay, it's just the truth. So that's a spinach. You don't need too much of anything. And I am going to also add just a little bit of onions to that. Just because onions gives everything a different flavor. A nice different flavor. I do not eat spicy food, but you can literally make these egg white cups with anything you like. So I'm going to chop up just a bit more onions. We do have a 5 variety there, so I've got the fajita meat, the sardines, vegetables, spinach, and cheese, and then I'm going to have one with tomatoes and onions. So that's the last one. And then next thing we do is combining. I love to combine. We just throw all this whole thing together and keep it in the oven for 20 minutes. Take it out, let it cool down a little so it all settles, and you are ready to go. So that's it right there. That's a tomato and onion. I am going to put a little bit more of fresh cilantro salsa because it's got all the herbs and spices and seasonings that I love. You just have to find your happy place, find the seasonings you love, and have the party. So let's see, I'm going to whisk this up again. just a little bit of olive oil. See? Fresh virgin olive oil right there. I'll add just a little bit. You know what I should? 1 tablespoon, because we don't want to put too much in all of it. There. Okay. Whisk that up. I will stand this over here so it's not making a mess on anything. And let's get this party started. So I've got my muffin tin here. I did spray it already with this cooking spray. I mean, basically you can use any cooking spray is fine. And I've got my measuring cup. It's half a cup each. Sometimes I don't need to put that much. It depends on the size of your muffin tin. So put that here in the middle. Make sure it's just a little bit more than a half full so you have space for your vegetables and your toppings. So let's do that. I'm putting in just about, it's really coming down to about 1/3 a cup at this point. 1/3 of the cup. There. And these cook really, really fast. So 20 minutes or so, depending on your oven, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Okay, so these are 12. That's a batch of 12, and I'm gonna have 3 with cheese. Just a pinch of cheese. That's it. That's all you need, a little bit of everything. And then this one here, just a little bit of spinach. It's all going to settle in once you stick this thing in the oven. A little bit more. I don't want to waste anything. There. There. And then my fajita meat. Yum, yum, yum. That's a good part. I love the meat. There. You don't need to stir it when it's in there. Just leave it alone. Once it starts cooking, I mean, some of these meats, the meats will sink to the bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of fajita meat on the spinach. Yes, I mean, I guess I have some extra, so why not? Just put whatever you want, just anything. Anything will work. Okay. That ended up being spinach and fajita meat, which is fine, which is okay. Then I've got one with sardines. So I don't like too much of the sardines, so I'm going to put just a little bit on each one. There. That's it. Get this. Put this in the oven. I preheated it at 350 degrees. There. Lovely. Now, let's go ahead and take our eggs out of the boiling water. These guys here, you want them to cool down immediately. So I already have water in this bowl with ice because I want them cool immediately. And I have this spoon with holes. It's like a sieve. So I just pick my eggs up from the boiling water and put them into the freezing water, and this cools them down immediately and stops the cooking fast. Okay, you just take them out, put them there. I'm gonna let them sit in the cold water until they are completely cooled, and then I'll put them back into the tray of eggs where they came from, and I have 18 boiled eggs that are ready for me for the whole week, okay? Actually 7 days. You shouldn't keep them for more than 7 days. That's what I think. Okay, so these are here, our boiled eggs are done. So let's get back to our eggs. Let's get back to our eggs. Let's get back to our eggs. So I'm gonna set a little surprise there for you at the end. But anyway, these muffin tins here are a little bit bigger. So again, these are just my egg whites. So I'm gonna put a whole half cup because it fits perfectly into that one. And all I'm gonna do is just add this, do the same thing, just add all the toppings and then we'll be done. See? I'm gonna send you some pictures when I get it all out of the oven. These eggs take about 20 minutes to bake. If you can put a toothpick in and it comes out completely clean, then you know the eggs are ready. Okay, so these are our cups. I'm gonna put my chopped vegetables here in 2 of them. The chopped vegetables, not too many here. There. And then I want to have one with tomatoes and onions. And I'll put a little bit more tomato in these chopped vegetables. Don't want too much to be left over. And then I'll have one with spinach and one with the sardines. Spinach. A little bit more spinach. You know, the last of the spinach, that's it right there. I'm gonna throw the rest of my cheese over the spinach just because I think it's gonna be delicious. That's just what I think, and put a little bit more cheese here. There. Everything in small amounts, and these egg white cups are really very low in calories. Excellent, excellent for breakfast, or you just eat them whenever you want, and that's fine. Let's see, I'm gonna put a little bit more sardine. Try to refrain from doing this. You don't need to stir it. Once you put them in, I mean, the egg whites kind of fluff up and the vegetables just spread out in there, and that's okay. So I'm gonna put this one over here, right there, and we'll leave it there for 20 minutes. So back to our eggs. These cool down really fast. They completely cool down at this point because this was iced water. I mean, I've got some ice cubes in here. So I just take this out. Let's get some paper towels. And my egg white cups, I will take these out after 20 minutes, and I will attach the pictures to the end of the video. Okay, so that's really it. 6 different varieties of egg whites. You can make it in under an hour. Excellent, excellent source of protein, low in calories, and just for me, they really help me eat something healthy and low in calories when I have cravings. Okay, so these right here, these are our 12 boiled eggs. Nice and labeled. I have them labeled here. So you do want to do that and put a date on it. If you're like me, after 2 days you forget, so that's it. But anyway, that's really it. We are done here. In 20 minutes, I'll take these out and I'll attach the pictures at the end. All right, talk to you soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it and you think you had a lot of helpful information, go ahead and subscribe. Click that button and subscribe to my channel so that when I put up another video, you will get a notification. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.